have you ever felt like you want to give up in this journey? I know a lot of you guys probably feel like you want to give up. Like I wanted to give up sometime. Raise your hand if you felt like you want to give up. Like raise your hand. Be honest. Like sometimes you want to give up on things. Like that's true. It's hard. You're doing something hard, and it's not easy. That's the truth. It's not easy, right? Everything that we're doing today is not easy. Um, my in my personal life, I grew up. I had to accept that I had to do things by myself. A very young age. I was probably like 10 because after you get beat up, bullied, whatever, and you're like, man, my parents can't really help me. They don't speak the language. I don't speak the language. I can't tell the teacher if somebody's bullying me or beating me up. Like it gets really hard. And then one day I just snapped and I said, I'm going to take care of myself. And it doesn't mean I didn't have any friends. I had friends, but a lot of the time I learned how to, I had to figure out taking care of myself, and I didn't reach out to them for help. They didn't reach out to me for help. That was kind of the environment I grew up in, and I learned how to do that. And my family didn't lift me up or anything. When I went through, when I was broke, there wasn't any really like, hey, keep going, do your thing. Like you got it. There was none of that. And I know some of you guys here didn't get that kind of support growing up, right? Asian parents. If you're not Asian, you might not understand, but most Asian parents are that way. They're just kind of cold. Maybe, I don't know, something's inside of them. They're very cold-hearted, so they don't lift you up. They don't speak anything to you that help you. So when you have any struggles, any battles, any issues, it's just always like, okay, I got to figure it out on my own. And it's hard for you to have that habit to reach out to others, and nobody want to share anything. Nobody want to share their struggles, their doubts with anybody. Why? Because we worry that, we might be judged and we might be criticized. And we worry about being talked down to too sometimes because we're not used to people lifting us up. So to me, that's the truth. Like, I feel like that's what everybody feels, right? Do you feel like you worry about people maybe criticizing you or judging you, right? Raise your hand if you feel like judged sometimes and you share something, right? You worry about sharing. And that's the truth. Like, so I heard this funny story a while back. A buddy of mine shared it with me. So there's this group of frogs going through the woods. Okay, so they're hopping along through the woods, and two of the frogs, they hopped into a pit. So they fell into this deep, dark pit, and so all the frogs started crowding around this pit, right, in the forest. And it's a deep pit, so they can't just climb out easily. So, and so all the crowd around them is telling these two frogs, like, "Hey, there's no hope for you. Just die, right? There's no hope for you. Just die." And both of these frogs just decided, like, "Hey, screw that." They ignore them, and so they start jumping, and they try to get out of the pit. They're jumping the hardest that they can, and the group of frogs at the top is looking down and say, "Just give up. You're not gonna make it. It's too high. Just give up. Stop trying. Stop trying so hard. That they'll never make it out." And guess what? Eventually, one of the frogs listened, and they gave up. And then he fell to his death. Horrible story, right? And that's the end of it. Just kidding. Uh, you still have the other frog. He's continuing to try harder. He keeps jumping and jumping and jumping, and the crowd of frogs like yelling at him, "Man, stop! This is painful. You're gonna die anyway. So stop trying." He jumps even harder, and eventually he makes it out. When he got out, the other frog asked him, like, "Did you not hear us?" And the frog was like, "No, I'm deaf." And so he thought the whole time they were cheering him on. A silly story, right? What's my point of telling you guys this? So every day, every moment, there's going to be people around you that's going to criticize you, put you down. And honestly, that happened to me and my own family, right? The people closest to you will continue to tell you things that might not be something very positive. They put you down. Your friends, potentially, because they worry about you. They come from a good place, but they don't know what you're trying to achieve. And so you get criticized. Maybe you suck. You will fail. You might lose everything. You might go broke. You're not smart enough for this. You're not skilled enough for this. This happens, right? And the world we live in today, like it doesn't teach us how to encourage each other. Like, and it just teaches us to put each other down. Why? Because everybody's insecure in some way. Everyone want to put somebody down so that they feel better, so that they lift themselves up. That's me. That's what I feel like sometimes when I am around people that are like, struggling. Like I see that, like them putting other people down, and I watch that, and I'm like, whoa, I don't want to be around this guy. Right? They purposely put people down, and sometimes it becomes a habit, and then they don't think about it. And so when you put somebody down, essentially you're trying to lift somebody up because you're insecure. That's why people do that. And you guys ever felt that, like that kind of experience where somebody put you down? Like raise your hand if you ever felt being put down. Like I'm sure all of us in our life has felt being put down, right? I have. Yeah. And all that negative words, negative criticism, it discourages you. Yeah. So instead of encouragement, we get a lot of doubt and negativity, right? And if you're used to listening to those people that are discouraging you, how do you start encouraging other people, right? You pick up this habit. You picked up a habit of discouraging people, and you went through your entire life learning how to discourage other people instead of encouraging. And that's a hard habit to break. But, I want to share, like for me, how I started. So I received a lot of discouragement growing up. Not intentionally. It's just like, it's a habit that is a generational curse. It's a chain that's been passed down to generation to generation to generation. And that's just how it is. And people weren't taught better. My parents weren't taught better. My friends weren't taught better. My aunts, my uncle, whatever, my everybody around me were not taught better. But what helped? So when I was in high school, I liked playing sports. So I like working out. I was lifting in the gym. And so I decided to join a team. I joined a soccer team. So anyone who likes soccer, I like soccer. So I played soccer. My parents were never very active, okay? They just worked all the time. So they didn't know anything about what I did. They just like, okay, fine, soccer, cool, do it. I don't know if I can drive you home though. So maybe you need to walk or find a friend to drive you home. That was about it. That was the end of the conversation. So our school had this small high school, we're in this small high school in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And it was a public school. So we lacked talent. We lacked players. But I joined the team anyway. They needed players. So thinking back now, I'm just like, maybe they just need another body. That's why I was able to join the team. But I was at 16 at the time. First day of practice, we ran like 2 miles. I almost passed out, but I didn't give up, because I was just running with a lot of people in the same position, right? A lot of people that were on the team running with me. But when you start practicing together, it makes things a little bit easier. Instead of running by yourself, I had like 12 other guys running with me every single day. And we practiced really hard. Like every day, rain or shine, we had this one assistant coach. He just came out of military. I don't know why. I guess he didn't have a job. And so they hired him as an assistant coach. So he volunteered. He didn't have anything to do. And so he was just drilling us as if we were in the military, man, like straight up, like Marine style. We're jumping over each other, doing bear crawls in the rain. Like, it's like, hey, it's raining, practice time. I'm like, okay. We show up and we're crawling in the mud. Like, it was like we're doing a military drill, getting ready for battle. So we practiced really hard. And guess what? We still lose games. The first game we played, like, I sucked. We all sucked. Literally, like the whole team. Maybe there was one good guy, but, one guy in a 12-player team, everybody else sucks. 90% of us suck. We're going to get screwed up. Right? We're going to lose the game. And you know what? The team was like, hey, man, you got it. We keep the coach encouraging us. They're like, hey, man, next game, we're going to do better, Don't let it put you down. Get up and keep trying. And so we practiced, repeat the process, grinding it out every day. At the end, still lost a lot more games. But you know what? The thing I've learned out of that experience was the power of encouragement. I learned the experience of lifting somebody up. The word of encouragement made it very easy for me to keep getting up and keep trying again. And that's probably was the only thing that broke the chain of discouragement in my life. Because if you never played in a team sports, and the people who are in a team sports, they know this, that the team encourage you, regardless if you win or lose. There will be certain teammates that are just terrible and they'll put you down, but majority of the time when it's team related, they lift you up. So today I really want to share with you why the 5 important powers of encouragement and how it can improve your life. Okay. Number 1, awareness. So when you encourage someone or when you receive encouragement, it brings awareness to what you're doing well. Doesn't mean everything is perfect, but it helps you see and become aware of the area that you're working on, right? So it highlights. So to say if Hi is doing something well, like, hey, Hi, dude, I noticed your biceps are getting bigger. You're doing a good job, bro. Your biceps are getting so big. Now everybody wants to, now Hi might be like, oh man, that's awesome, thank you, right? He feels good about it. So if something that you truly are working on, it brings awareness to that, like you recognize that. Second, it creates belief. So when others believe in you, you believe in yourself. That's really how encouragement is. Like you highlight, you bring awareness to it, and then you say you're doing a good job. It reinforces a belief that I'm doing a great job. I'm good at it, right? And as you improve your belief, you start believing in your own potential, right? If you have a skill or something that you're working on, it might not be good at first, but just receiving that little encouragement will increase that belief so that you want to do that more, okay? So it also builds confidence. It feels good when somebody tell you that. It lifts your confidence level up. I know when I'm trying something new, sometimes I worry about, like, am I good at it? Am I bad at it? Like, I think about all of these things, and sometimes it's not very good because when we're trying something new, we're afraid. But when you get a little bit of encouragement, it lifts you out of that doubt. You'll never know when you can affect somebody's life through just a simple encouragement. You don't know how powerful it is. And number 4, and it improves attitude. Like seriously, like if you encourage somebody enough, you make their day, you might make them feel better. You don't realize it, but encouraging will improve someone's attitude, and your attitude determines your altitude, right? When you have a positive attitude, when you have a good attitude, you do things a little bit better. Have you ever been to a restaurant? Like, seriously, do not go to Louisiana because the service is terrible. Like, if you guys ever been to like New Orleans, Louisiana, my goodness, dude, I go to a restaurant. I'm from Louisiana. I know the service sucks. It's like, hey, I ordered this 15 minutes ago. Where is it? Sorry, it's still cooking, and that's it. Like, it's no like, oh, sorry, sir, just give us a few more minutes. Like, no, it's cooking, and you're like, what the heck, man? I paid money for this, right? It's so like when people have bad attitude, it's like it makes the meal worse. Even though it doesn't matter how good the restaurant is, when you get bad like service with bad attitude, it doesn't make the meal taste very good. So attitude determines your altitude, improves attitude. And the most important item at the end, it promotes action. Sometimes when we're trying to take the next step forward, when we're trying to move forward, when we're trying something really hard, that's hard for us. Each one of us has something that's really hard for us to do. Learning something new, maybe doing something new, trying something that we're afraid of. Like, it's hard. But when you have awareness, when somebody bring awareness to it, when somebody believe in you, your confidence is lifted, your attitude is lifted now, you're more energized to take action. That's why words of encouragement are very important. Like real, genuine encouragement can be very powerful for you and other people. So why am I sharing this? This is important because I know encouragement it can be very beneficial in your life because a lot of us are not used to receiving encouragement. And so because we have this community, I really want to talk to you guys about leaning in to your community and then forming the inner circle or core allies. Let's say you have a group of friends. Like all of us are older now. The truth is, we don't need more friends. We need to start getting rid of some. Right? We don't need more friends. For me, I don't have a lot of friends. I don't care about having more friends. I care about having the right friends. And so I recommend having 3 close inner circle core friends. Why 3? Because a triangle is a very strong shape. And generally, if you guys don't know, it's triangle is a strong shape in nature, and they generally, engineers use in building design, bridges and towers, they use triangles. So there's a lot of strength. And so you want 3 core supporters in your life. Who are your 3 closest allies? Who are the 3 that gives you encouragement? Or who are the 3 that you give out encouragement to? Like who can you receive encouragement from? So for me, my core 3 is my wife, my business partner, and a close friend. Yeah. We're not looking for more friends. We're looking for allies that will ride with us forever. Remember, like people think of friends that, like, hey, maybe I know this guy for 10 years, but I might not be with them the next 10 years. Think about having friends that you would do life with. Like who in your life right now, besides your wife, your kids, your business partner, a friend that's outside of your own blood-related family that you can say, I'm going to do life with, right? You want to do life with the people that have the same mindset. So the criteria is they got to be better than you. They got to be on the same similar journey as you, and they got to inspire you, right? Like if you're friends, I'm not saying like just don't take it the wrong way and say like, hey, I got to dump all these old losers I got right now. No, I'm not saying that. So don't do that. Don't start, like put them on a chopping block. Like, hey, checklist, you're gone. You don't qualify. No, don't do that. Like, don't just go and start eliminating people in that sense. Spend less time with them and choose to decide, hey, I feel like I want to do life with you. Like, let's be friends for the rest of our life and let's challenge each other to grow and improve. I had a conversation with my, so last night too, it was funny because we were talking about our social circle, right? Like, who do you want to be? Like, what are your core friends that has to share the same value? And then our friend, my friend's wife was like, yeah, so I have this friend and every time I talk to her, we don't really connect, because I'm always talking about like growing financially, business. And then all she talks about is beauty, makeup, shopping. And she's like, I don't know, we don't have a connection. So I don't really want to call her and hang out with her. And I'm like, stop right there, It's depending on the gift that this person have, right? She's a stay-at-home mom. She has beautiful skin. That's what you call you got bad skin, right? So find out what your friends are good at and then call them and have a conversation about that. She might have the best deal for beauty products. She might have the best technique, the best doctor to get, plastic surgery on. Who knows? Because that's her interest. That's her thing. Don't just disregard her ability because that's the gift that she has, right? And so, I'm not saying go and eliminate all your friends, but be wise as who you want to do life with. I'm not trying to find new friends. I'm reviewing for me all the time. It's like, who do I want to do life with? Who are the friends that I will keep close, that I can speak encouragement to, and I can receive encouragement from, knowing that when I talk to them, they give me real advice that can help me. I mentioned to you guys, I have 5 people in my life that I reach out for, like business, investment, personal growth, just so many different areas, right? Health, relationships. I have all of those people like when I have struggled with my own marriage in my life or my kids, I have friends that I talk to who specifically like that's what they do, right? They study this stuff. They study psychology. They're therapists, and this is what they do, and so they give advice. And so think about who you want to do life with, and let them challenge you, let them be better than you, let them inspire you, let them be on the same journey of growth. So bring more encourager into your life. Get rid of the ones who are not encouraging you. Yeah. To be honest, like life will continue to be hard every single day. Just accept that. It's not going to get any easier. I promise you. It's not going to be sitting on the beach sipping on, mimosa or pina coladas. It's not going to happen. Well, yeah, you're on vacation, maybe like 2 or 3 days, but it's not going to happen every single day. You can, then you'd be an alcoholic, but that's another story, right? But having someone to speak encouragement and life into you every single day will give you strength to overcome anything. And the goal for all of us is to just be able to take action every day, because everyone has 24 hours. And when we have the energy to start taking action for our future, that the future is not 100% certain, but we have that 24 hour. We need to be able to take action, and we need that encouragement from the right people to help us take action towards that every single day, because you know what? Life happens. Your life will interfere with the action that you're trying to take. Change takes time. I don't focus on changes in a year period. I focus on change in 24-hour period because it's easier. I only have enough strength for 24 hours. I wake up at 5 a.m. and I get tired at 7 p.m. So, anything after 7 p.m., I'm not really doing much, right? I'm then taking my kids and then I'm getting ready for bed. Eat dinner, kiss, and then bed. Like, that's my schedule. So there's not much, like, for me, it's 24 hours. Everybody has 24 hours. Just remember that. We can only take action within that 24 hours. And just find the right people to surround yourself in your life that encourage you.